Okay. So for today, we will be discussing primary care. So on our previous lecture, we have defined what primary healthcare is, and now we will look into primary care and we will differentiate the two. And also, we will be looking at the current DOH policy framework for primary care, the services given in a primary care facility, and the competencies of a primary care worker. So, looking at this, um, we will differentiate the two. So, primary healthcare, as we said before, it was started in the 1960s pa. It was introduced by missionaries. Um, and then they have made policies through the Alma Ata. And as you can see, it is a whole of society approach. So it needed interventions and collaboration from all the different stakeholders. And of course, the aim of this one is to give the highest possible level of health and well-being by giving equitable delivery of quality health services. As opposed to your primary care, which is the initial contact, which is accessible, continuous, comprehensive, and coordinated care that is available at the time of need and has the ability to coordinate referrals to other providers in the healthcare delivery system. So technically, your primary care is under the umbrella of your primary health care, which you can see here. So your primary healthcare approach has two different interventions. Pwede siyang public health, pwedeng personal. The financial sources could be population-based or individual-based. And the levels of care, doon pumapasok ang primary care mo, along with your promotive or preventive care, secondary care, and tertiary care. As for your DOH policy framework for your primary care, so we will start from the bottom. Kasi ano yan eh, parang we'll start with the key strategies. And meaning, the key strategies, meaning how the system will be improved. So ano bang ginagawa ng DOH? Ano bang ini-implement natin as of now? So first, number one is the provision of your individual-based health services. Diyan pumapasok ang mga consultations, your check-ups, your treatments na binibigay natin sa kada pasyente na pupunta sa health centers or sa hospitals. And then, the DOH is also providing population health services. So, population-based as in the whole population is being kept in mind all the time. So, para sa greater good, kumbaga. Examples here include your vaccination programs. So, di ba yearly, we update our vaccination schedule for the kids depending on the availability also doon sa health centers natin. And also, they also give health education campaigns. So usually we see this doon sa mga um, mararamdaman yan usually doon sa mga community facilities natin, yung mga health centers. Kita mo na nandun ang individual-based services nila and population-based services at the same time. So how do they provide your individual-based services and population-based services? It is through these supporting interventions. So first is your delineation of financing of health services. Ang question dito is, where will the funding come from? Manggagaling ba to sa national? Manggagaling ba to sa LGU? You're transitioning and streamlining of procurement. So dito, they ensure that the medicines and supplies are affordable and available. Merong meron tayong drug formulary. Meron tayong fino-follow din na yun lang yung mga kino-cover ng PhilHealth. Kapag outside of the formulary na provide ng DOH, hindi siya makakover ng PhilHealth. That goes for your meds doon sa hospitals. And ayan, streamlining of your procurement. So, medyo madugo ang procurement, especially of your medicines and your supplies. So, dito sa atin, syempre we have all these different suppliers. Sabihin na natin na hindi naman talaga same ang quality ng ibang mga gamot. Merong suppliers na mahal kasi sila innovator. Meron namang nasa mid-range, meron ding mga super cheap. So parang sa atin, we have to really weigh kung whether to procure the innovator na sure ka na highest quality possible or to get the cheapest ba, to get the most number of quantity for your population. So we really have to strike a balance there. Pero the thing is, our biddings and awardings committees ng mga cities, they don't always have medical practitioners there. So yun yung medyo kailangang bantayan on our end. Kailangan nating kahit na kasi sabihin ng hospital na ito yung gusto naming brand, minsan hindi siya na-award. Hindi siya nakukuha. And minsan they opt for the cheapest possible. So, pag nandun na nasa ground na yung mga medicines mo, you still have to have a process of giving feedback. Like, kung merong mga adverse reactions, para ma-call out yung supplier, para masabihan yung procurement team mo na, oh, don't get that anymore kasi hindi maraming nagkakaroon ng reaction dito or parang hindi siya gumagana. Yan. Okay? Next is your workforce and facilities. So here, there's the enhancement of your primary care. We do this by enhancing your competencies, by doing trainings and certification programs for your health workers. We regulate the primary care facilities. So DOH has to approve, kailangan lahat dadaan sa kanila ang approval and certification of your primary care facilities. And then we ensure that the clinics and centers meet standards. And lastly, your quality and access. So we have to set service standards and define what high quality care means. So ano ba yun? We also ensure your affordable access to your medicines by lowering and improving the distribution. Ito, establish your standards for primary care health services. So, kailangan dito standardized yung mga services na mabibigay nila, especially for the centers. So, ano naman ba ang gusto nating ma-achieve ano ba gusto ma-achieve ni DOH from the different key strategies that they were planning? So, that's your strategic outputs. So, here, sabi, it's the integrated and comprehensive primary care with better coordination between health services to, of course. Kailangan ang primary care mo, meron siyang kasama or katuwang na higher level ng facilities. Kasi, aminin natin din na hindi lahat ng services kayang i-provide ng primary care. But the main reason why you have your primary care is of course to make sure na hindi magiging burdensome para sa health system mo ang mga consultations or yung mga cases na pwede mo namang i-provide doon sa primary care. Next is your strategic financing for primary care. Kailangan sustainable ang funding mo dito. Hindi pwedeng para kang nagme-medical mission lang na ibubuhos mo lahat ng funds mo for one big event. Kailangan sustainable para long-term and mas marami ang population na masaserve mo. And then next is your quality, safe, and affordable primary care. So kasama na dyan, bukod sa magandang health outcomes, competent na health workers, maganda ang facilities mo, accessible ang mga medicines mo, kasama din dyan ang patient satisfaction. Hindi lang siya mainly on the health outcomes. And lastly, is the impact or the big picture that we want to see, that the DOH wants to see. Ang ultimate goal natin, of course, is to have a more responsive primary care system, which will ensure that all Filipinos will have better access to the essential health services. So, nasa na ba tayo ngayon? As of now, even years after the implementation of primary healthcare, I think we are still well on our way, especially with the start ng ating universal healthcare, yung pag-emerge ng ating mga konsulta programs, ng mga yakap. So, we are still well on our way and unti-unti pa rin siyang ini-implement and ini-introduce sa mga tao. Kasi nga yung mga Filipinos, we are a bit specialist-centric, diba? So, na-establish na yun natin yun before na ang alam ng tao na pupuntahan nila kapag meron silang sakit is diretso ospital. Meron naman syempre pupunta muna sa clinic, pero ang pinaka on the top of their heads, when they're sick, they go to the hospital. When they have a cough, they go to the pulmo. When they have UTI, they go to the uro. So ganon. So kaya talagang ini-introduce natin ang primary care sa mga tao. And we also want it, and we are also aiming that the doctors will also be familiar with the primary care. So here are other definitions. So sino ba ang mga primary care providers? So they are the healthcare workers who are um, certified and competent in primary care practice. So pwede dito included ang mga doctors, or nurses, or physician assistants. It can also be an institution licensed and certified by the DOH. And your primary care provider network. So ito is a group of a coordinated, take note of that, coordinated group of public, private, or mixed primary care providers. The idea here is to ensure that care is comprehensive and seamlessly integrated across different types of providers. So, eto na. So, this is your primary care provider network. So, this is part of, I think you will find these figures doon sa introduction ng DOH to the UHC. So, let's start with your primary care provider network, or your PCPN. So, when a family has a health concern, saan ba sila pupunta? Siyempre, it goes without saying na if it's an emergency, they will definitely have to go to a hospital, to a big institution that can um, cater to the needs. But for most concerns, ideally, kung dun tayo sa government na practice, we have here your different health stations that are situated within your community. They also have a primary care facility in there, which will provide your meds, which can cater to deliveries, uncomplicated deliveries, and your diagnostics, like the basic services na pwede nilang makuha. Nandun na agad dapat sa iyong primary care facility. If your primary care facility cannot cater, or it's out of their scope, or out of their kakayahan, ililipat siya. Meron tayo dapat referral system to a bigger facility, which are your level 2 hospitals and your level 3 hospitals. So, ito is still within your healthcare provider network. Dapat merong magandang referral system between these two. And lalo na, a good referral system to your Apex or end referral hospitals, which are usually standalone. So, dito sa atin, like, say, here in Muntinlupa, we have, I think, ilan na ba ang health centers natin? Parang 15 ata. If I'm not mistaken. Basta marami tayo, it's less than 20 but more than 15. Parang ganon. So, meron tayong mga health centers, health stations. We have primary care facilities that can provide all this. And then, currently, we do not have a level 1 or a level 2 government hospital. But we have different hospitals na private na makakapag-provide ng level 1 care doon sa ating mga patients. So, kasama din sila sa referral system mo. Hindi lang health centers to Osmon lagi. You have your Alabang Med na hospitals around here. Tapos, for your level 2, level 3, syempre, nandyan ang ating MCM. We also have your Asian Hospital, etc. So, kasama sila, as we said earlier. So, kasama ang private, kasama ang government institutions dito. And ano ba nangyayari currently sa ating referral system. So, usually, we are still paper-based. So, from the health centers, they give a slip to the patient. Na parang nakasulat doon pangalan ng pasyente mo, age, address, primary impression at the health center, and reason for referral. Tapos, dadalhin nila. Minsan, usually nakalagay lang doon to hospital of choice. So, mostly naman doon, ang pinupuntahan nila is Osmond. So, marireceive namin sa ER. Meron pa rin talaga doon na, meron syempre mga admissible talaga. So, okay tayo doon, walang problema. But there are also referrals na to a specialist lang pala. Hindi naman pala siya emergent care needed, but they need to be seen by a hospital. So, kailangan when we do referrals, dapat naka-define yun na if it's just a specialist referral or to the ER. Tapos, ayan. So, nakapasok na yung pasyente natin sa hospital. Nasa Osman na siya. Dapat, ideally, meron tayong feedback mechanism kung ano-ano ang nangyari sa pasyente mo. However, it's something na hindi usually nasusunod. Kasi may slip dun sa baba na parang reply slip ba? Nadadalhin ng pasyente ideally pabalik. But, minsan the referral's not, hindi na siya nakakabalik. Yung reply slip sa pasyente, hindi na siya nakakabalik. Or si pasyente, pagdating sa health center na malapit sa kanila, hindi na sila pupunta until they have another case, until they have another problem. So that's usually one of the observations na nakita namin when we were doing census with our resident na assigned sa community sa practice-based na program. Ang dami niyang patients. Ang dami niyang old patients na bumabalik-balik. But it's very rare that they would come for follow-ups. It's usually an old patient that comes for another problem. So, yun. So, yun yung isang bagay na hindi natin nahihirapan pa tayong gawin is the referral from the ground going up and yung referral back to primary care na follow-ups natin. Alright? So, ayun. So, in terms of the referral system natin dito, here in Muntinlupa, and I'm pretty sure with other cities and other places here in the Philippines as well, mahirap pa rin ang referral system. Madali mag-refer, but hindi na natin usually alam kung ano na nangyari sa pasyente na nilala natin dito. Hindi na sila nakakabalik dun sa primary care facility nila kasi they think na once they get admitted here, they're gonna be stuck here forever. Hindi na sila babalik doon sa primary care provider nila. As I have said earlier, hold on, batayin ko lang yung alarm. As I have said earlier, our healthcare provider network is not just the facilities in the public hospital or the government facilities only. So, kasama dyan ang private. So, pwede silang magkaroon ng contractual agreement. So, from here, so parehas pa rin. Your primary care provider network. So, it's the widest. Ito yung may pinakamaraming touch dapat sa mga tao. And then, your secondary care and tertiary care. So, pwedeng pwedeng merong contractual agreement ang public and private owned facilities since hindi lahat ay available sa public or sa government hospitals. Ayan. So next is the classification of your primary care services. So within your primary health care, you have your public health and your personal care. You also have your population-based and individual-based services. So within the scope of your primary care, you have your mass interventions, your health promotion and communication, and health program management. Sa primary care na individual-based services naman includes your counseling, screening and diagnostics, and your treatment. So we'll go and look at this one by one. So for your population-based primary care services, so meron siyang different programs within it that the primary care facility does. So first is your health promotion. So this is very important. So this includes the activities that encourage hindi lang yung mga emerging diseases na kunwari they do lay forum for cases ng mga dengue, mga ganun. So it also includes your healthy lifestyle na activities and preventive measures. Next is your epidemiologic surveillance, which is key for tracking and analyzing health trends. So this helps in identifying your potential outbreaks or monitoring your current situation and for the planning and intervention. So parang it's what we do behind the scenes, and it was very important before, especially at the time of COVID. So here in Munti, and I think in the other cities as well, we had a way of directly communicating with our epidemiologic surveillance units. So as as a healthcare provider, kunwari before when I was in family doc, whenever I get a patient na mukhang COVID suspect at the time, kahit na it's just your cough codes, wala pang swab, you really have to report each patient to your epidemiological surveillance unit. Parang hindi alam ng mga patient. Pero syempre may ano naman yun na hindi nila alam na bukod doon sa tally na binibigay natin daily, alam din ng mga alam din ng city natin kung sino yung mga babantayan nila. So, it's really what's going on behind the scenes at the time na that became very important. Kaya nga, di ba at the end of the day, meron tayong tally, nakikita natin kung ilan yung bagong cases, ilan yung mga bagong mortalities at the time. So, that was a really good effort for good coordinated effort na I was actually asking yung public health unit natin if we can sort of redo or do something like that again para sa referral system. Kasi dati alam mo kung ilang hospitals, ilang beds pa meron sa MCM, ilang beds pa meron ng RITM, ilang beds pa meron ng OSMO, para alam mo kung saan mo i-forward as a doctor in the primary care facilities. Next is your health protection. So this is another critical area, which includes your vector control, environmental health, your occupational safety, and ensuring your food safety. So each of these aspects, syempre, will contribute to a healthier and safer community. Kahit parang medyo ano siya, hindi siya agad-agad napapansin or hindi agad-agad na-appreciate ng mga tao. Especially when we do cleanup drives. Di ba parang, ano ba yan? Ba't ba nandito yung mga yan? Bakit ba sila punta ng punta dito? Wala namang ginagawa. So, that simple cleanup drive, yung mga programs na anti-lamok, it has a really huge impact, especially for the communities na na, na talagang dikit-dikit ang mga tao. And sobrang laki din ng impact nun, yung prevention through your vector control, na hindi ma-exhaust yung facility mo sa hospital. Kasi syempre, from the ground, if you do vector control, for example, for dengue, pag nakita nila madami na yung cases, tatry na natin siyang stop para hindi tayo laging mapupuno. Hindi umaapaw ang ER natin sa Osmond. Hindi na exhaust ang ating facility. And lastly, your emergency preparedness and response, which ensures that your communities are ready to handle your health crisis efficiently. So, ang goal natin dito is to be proactive and responsive to emergencies. So, this includes your yung mga lay forum lectures. This includes your mga earthquake drill, etc. Then next is your individual-based services naman, which are offered by your primary care facilities. Again, your individual health services are those that cater to a patient's individual needs. So, pwede itong public, pwede siyang private ang provider mo. So, first is your maternal and newborn care. So, this is important to ensure the health and well-being of mothers and babies. So, this does not just include your delivery ng baby, but it includes your prenatal and postnatal care. So, sa isang primary care service facility, kayang-kaya magpaanak saan. As long as I think it's not a teenage pregnancy. As long as it's the second pregnancy na uncomplicated, and during the prenatal examination, dapat wala silang ma-pick up na hindi siya GBM, hindi siya hypertensive, hindi siya mukhang at risk for pre-eclampsia. Kayang-kaya nilang paanakin yan sa primary care facility. However, due to the rise in your mga teenage pregnancies, due to the rise of your lifestyle diseases, maraming second pregnancies tayo na supposedly uncomplicated na naiiwan na sa ospital. So, kunwari, yung first pregnancy niya, normal, tapos, first pregnancy niya, hypertensive siya, nag-pre-eclamp siya. So, pangalawang pregnancy, hindi niya na i-risk yun na mag-primary care. Pangalawa, yung mga, kunwari, nanganak ng 16 years old, if they decide to give birth to have a baby again after a few years, sabihin natin nasa 25 na siya, syempre, ang go-to na pupuntahan niya, hindi na siya pupunta sa center. Ang preferred provider niya is the hospital. And syempre, hindi mo naman na sila matatanggihan. But another case din na pwede mong makikita doon is ang check-ups lahat nasa center or in a lying-in. And then at the last minute, the patient would decide that they want to give birth in a hospital. Not because it was advised by your lying-in, but because gusto lang nila. And then when you ask kung saan siya nagpapa-check up, doon daw sa lying-in. And then pagdating doon sa atin, fully na. So, minsan, hindi na alam nung healthcare staff mo kung ano bang gagawin sa kanya. Wala kang history. Hindi mo kilala yung pasyente. Wala ka ding consultant na may kilala sa kanya. But syempre, wala naman tayong magagawa doon. So, we really encourage the mothers na nagpo-prenatal examination sa mga lying-ins or those na pauwi from their first admission on your succeeding pregnancy, you can opt for a primary care facility para hindi lahat nandun sa nasa ospital, nasa Osmond particularly, which is, by the way, level 3 hospital. So next is your family planning services. So dito, syempre, we encourage couples to plan their families effectively by providing information and access to different contraceptive methods. So available yan sa center. Meron silang pills, meron silang injectables, nakakapaglagay din sila ng implanon, IUD, kaya din ng mga midwives natin yan. BTL, syempre hindi. And syempre, this service supports informed choices and healthier family planning. Pero, eto, this is very important also. Kailangan both the patient and the partner will be counseled and advised dito sa family planning services. Kailangan makagawa sila ng informed decision regarding their plans ng kanilang family. And then next, your nutrition services. So this focuses on your dietary guidance and support to improve the overall health and prevent malnutrition sa community. Other essential services include your dental services. Dental services, we have that here in the city as well. Rehabilitation services. Para makabalik sa previous, or at least try to help the patient achieve the best quality of life possible once they recover from, for example, stroke. Hopefully, dapat meron yan sa isang primary care facility. We also do health assessment and referrals to evaluate the health status and direct the patients when they need to be seen at another level of care. Your clinic laboratory services. This includes yung mga basic na services lang, CBC, urinalysis, check ng sugar, x-ray. Ayun. So, syempre, itong mga to, kailangan to for your primary care para halos kumpleto na. halos wala na silang kailangang um, kunin or hindi na kailangang umikot-ikot yung pasyente just to find these services. Parang kumbaga one-stop shop yung primary care facility mo. Di ba? Parang sarap ng may ganun. So, kasama din dyan yung provision ng mga essential drugs and medicine. So, meron naman tayong mga meds minsan sa mga centers. Pero ang nakakaano lang dito, ang nakaka-weird lang minsan, meron silang mga medicines na bakit naka-cotrimoxazole ang pasyente mo? Kasi yun lang daw yung available. And walang pambili yung patient mo. So they really just try to give what's available for them na medicine to try to help their patient kahit hindi siya yung part ng guidelines mo. And then you have your administrative services, which includes your record keeping and issuance of the necessary certificates. So this will help naman streamline your patient experience by reducing your wait time and improve your accuracy. So ang pinaka-goal sana natin dito, what we want is to have a unified health record for your primary care facilities and of course to integrate it to the records sa hospital. Bakit? Kasi as doctors, di ba, we're really taught to do a very thorough physical exam, history and physical exam. Pero at the other end, sa side ng patient, minsan, di ba, parang dumaan na sila sa center. So, tatanungin siya ng barangay health worker, ano nangyari sa'yo? Pupunta siya, in-forward siya sa nurse. Tatanungin ulit. Tatanungin siya ni doc. Tapos, ang assessment ni doc, hindi pala kaya dito. Dadalhin siya sa ospital. Tinanong ng nurse. Tinanong ng doktor. So, hindi ba parang sa side ng patient, parang nakakaumay? Medyo na kulang-kulang na yung nasasabi nila kasi nakailang tanong na eh. Kaya minsan, pag aabot sa atin sa ER, parang pabalang na sila sumagot. Kasi nga naman, ang dami na nilang levels ng daanan. Ilang beses nila kunanto yung story nila. Bakit wala tayong record? Bakit wala tayong unified na system of seeing what really happened to them? Para parang follow-up na lang questions, yung mga na-miss out na lang ilan mo, di ba? So, yun. Isa yun sa dapat sana meron sa isang primary care facility na integrated sa atin. But, I think we are still in the process of making one. And then your supervisory services, your patient navigation, local health board, etc. Okay. Next. So, ito naman. Ano ba ang competencies that is expected from a primary care worker? So, first is providing first contact care. So, it is the ability to provide your health services within a time frame appropriate to the urgency of the health problem. And then, providing comprehensive primary care. So, your ability to provide a wide range of health services that meet common need across all life stages. So, from womb to tomb. So, bagay na bagay sa primary care ang FM. If you're interested. Providing continuing care. So, it's the ability to provide a sustained partnership within the patient in the management of his or her condition. So, sabi nga natin, di ba? when your patient gets out of the clinic, sila na ang nagmamanage ng health nila. So, kung ganon, when a patient na dinalas kunwari na-admit for stroke, and pinauwi mo na sa kanilang bahay, mas maganda na meron siyang primary care facility na matatakbuhan, or a primary care facility that they are that they know, para matulungan silang ma-manage ang kanilang condition nang hindi na sila kailangan na gumastos to go to the hospital for every single thing that they need, especially kunwari the rehab services. Kaya nga naman, kailangan din makapag-coordinate tayo ng maayos within different levels of care and across different disciplines as well. Kasi hindi naman tayo, ang dami-daming pasyente, hindi kailangan magagawa ng pasyente.
Okay, I found this on the web for Does He Need a Monday or? Check it out.
And then, you're managing patient records, ability to ensure coordination of care through accurate and timely integration of medical records in the healthcare provider network. This is, ano pa to? Pending pa sa atin to. Promoting health, your ability to identify, describe, and implement programs, policies, and other health promotion interventions that are empowering, participatory, holistic, intersectoral, equitable, and multi-strategic in nature. So, di ba nga sabi na nga natin, hindi lang tayo doktor, we're also educators, we're also counselors, we're also managers and leaders. And implementation of your public and population health services as mandated by the DOH. So, ang daming trabaho ng isang primary care provider. And with that, ano naman ang roles ng isang family physician? So, it's pretty much aligned to what is expected of a primary care worker, which is yun nga, which is hindi lang siya role ng isang ng isang family physician eh. It's the different roles of a healthcare provider. So they have a role as a counselor, syempre. We help the patients navigate their health challenges and make informed decisions by providing guidance and support. As manager and leader, we coordinate care by collaborating with other health professionals. As teachers and educator, we empower our patients by giving them knowledge about their health, remote intervention, encourage healthy lifestyle. As a healthcare provider, dapat, syempre, we have the ability to address the different medical concerns. As researchers, we will contribute to medical advancements and provide different studies in improving the patient care practices. And a social mobilizer, syempre, we can influence definitely the community health and advocate for their public health policies that will benefit the broader population. So, hindi lang to roles of a family physician, ha? This is the role of each healthcare provider. So, it's not, we're not just studying to be really competent doctors who will treat each patient that we encounter. But we also have to look at the bigger picture. Look at how we can influence the health of your population as a whole. Alright? Do you have any questions po? Wala naman. Okay. So with that, as future doctors that will hopefully influence public health and population health as a whole, we will be doing a task. And this will focus um, on knowing the different emerging diseases or the top diseases in our city, which is most likely dengue pa rin, the usual pneumonia, mga ganun, AGE. Pero ang pinaka gagawin natin is we will be doing presentations as not a presentation na clinical but as a lay forum. Parang how you will present it to the lay. Para to give information and to help promote ang preventive care services natin. So I will be giving you the scope, the guidelines for this in by end of day today or tomorrow. Alright? Para hindi lang tayo magiging bihasa sa pagre-report ng clinicals. Kasi ginagawa niyo naman na yan lagi. Nagdi-discuss naman na kayo lagi ng kung ano ba ang dengue, anong pathogen ito. But I want you to be able to present it in a way na gagawin nyo sa isang komunidad. Alright? Okay. So mabilis lang yung lecture natin. And